Hi, I'm Greg, and this is my story. I'm 14 years old, chilling out in my bedroom at home, when Mum comes in with a brochure for boarding school and asked me, would you like to go to boarding school? And two things came to my mind. One was, yeah, that's really exciting, because it would help me further my rugby career going to a large boys' school. But the other thing was, I knew that my father and I just didn't get on at the time. We fought a lot, we clashed, and there was just a lot of tension. And then over the coming months of getting prepared to go to boarding school, my parents actually sold their business and they moved our family to another town with my two brothers. And at that time, I created this story in my head that I was getting kicked out of the family and that I was not wanted and I was not loved and I just wasn't good enough. So I set out to be this little achiever, and I went off to boarding school to just achieve everything that I worked on so that they would love me and want me and I'd feel significant and good enough. And it did serve me well when I was younger. Made school prefect, head of the boarding house, captain of the first 15. I made the New Zealand under-16 rugby team, which was a real highlight of my life. Now fast forward to 2016. I'm 39 years old. We've just relocated my family back from a 2-year contract in Singapore. I had an amazing wife, 3 beautiful children, moving into a big 5-bedroom home with a swimming pool, investments, a couple of $100,000 in the bank, and I was just about to start my dream business of consulting and marketing agency after 20 years in the corporate life. Life looked amazing from the outside. And then one Tuesday night, I wake up in the fetal position beside my bed from another alcohol-induced blackout. I was having a major panic attack. And I was so ashamed of myself and I was so broken and I absolutely hated the man that I had become. I was actually having suicidal thoughts. And I thought that my wife and children would be better off without me, because inside I was just a wreck. I did what I thought I needed to do to become happy. I had it all, but I wasn't. And then the next morning I wake up that I made the decision and I finally surrendered, and I asked my wife, can you please help me find help? And at the time my wife had just started a diploma in kinesiology to become a kinesiologist, and she introduced me to her kinesiologist that she was working with, and also a friend's husband who had attended AA for a long time. So my new journey of trying to change the pain and the suffering that I've been going through for so many years had begun. At the time I thought, if only I could just knock the alcohol on the head. If I just got rid of the alcohol, everything would be all right. So I went off to AA, doing kinesiology, and I actually stopped drinking for 3 months. And I thought I was healed. Until I went and had another drink and I fell off the wagon and I went back into that deep place. The anxiety came back, the self-worth issues came back at 100 miles an hour. But this time, because I had done some self-healing work through the kinesiology, I knew that I could stop drinking again. And I also knew that it wasn't actually the alcohol that was the problem. It was what I was using the alcohol to avoid and suppress. It was all the deep buried emotions, the belief systems that I created from when I went off to boarding school, and every series of event that happened negatively and traumatically throughout my whole life. So this time, I quit alcohol for good. And on my 40th birthday, May 2017 was the last time I ever had an alcoholic drink. But I was far from healed. I had a lot of work to do, and I knew that I had to go inward, and I really needed to look at myself, and I really needed to do the work. A business colleague of mine at the time, he knew my story, and he actually invited me along to a one-day event which was hosted by a life and spiritual coach called Pip Mackay. And I went along to that event, and it was like Pip was talking directly to me. It was like she knew my life story. And without hesitation, I went, this is it. This is what I need to be doing. And I signed up for their 12-month coaching program without blinking an eyelid. And over the next 12 months, of doing the matrix coaching, which deep dives into clearing unconscious negative belief systems in our mind, which was literally what was driving me crazy and creating my self-worth issues, along with diving really deep into some advanced kinesiology work, and my wife was now doing kinesiology on me, I started to self-heal. And I started to transform every area of my life. And it was amazing. And I've never felt this good. I didn't think that life could be this good. My relationships, my business, everything was great. But more importantly, I was good. I actually started to like myself again. And I was becoming the man that I wanted to be. And now I've found my true passion in life, and that is to help other businessmen and entrepreneurs do the same.